Smells with Songbird in New York City. Looking at a picture of King Arthur, Sing Bird song. And Lady Guinevere, who is now Robin Birdsong, his sister. And okay, so let me begin. I have a nice report for you tonight. Men should have been close to the marginalized. Some men have been women in their past lives, and some men who have not been women have fallen in love with women in their wombs, their mothers, and become women because they are now separate from their mothers in the womb. They are one with the mother, and that's love. So they have to come out, be born, and separate from their mother, see themselves as separate from their mother. Okay, so things are dawning on me. The great master Sawan Singh wrote a book called The Dawn of Light. And light is dawning on me. I'm enlightened because the Buddha, Gurinder Singh, is tutoring me. Is in me, behind my pineal gland, tutoring me, one-on-one. I'm very fortunate. You're very fortunate that he's doing that. Because as long as Eve wants to live, the sun will shine. And as long as Gurinder Singh is in Eve and talking to her, she will want to live, and the sun will, and she will live, and the sun will shine. You see how it works? Video: How to Become a Master in the Art of Public Speaking, Part 1 of 2. Eric Edmiaz, or something like that, from Canada, at Mind Valley University in Tallinn, 2018. I'll listen to him. Great video. I mean, he said a lot of new stuff. He explained some reality in ways that you could apprehend it, comprehend it, the way you haven't been able to before. And he's a great storyteller, the best I've ever seen. He was wonderful. And I took some notes. He said he wrote a book, he was working on it. I don't know if it's published yet. The Hindsight Window. And don't worry that you're going to miss out on something, it says. Embrace missing out on things so you will be okay when you get successful and are offered more things to do than you can possibly take advantage of, or participate in, rather. And then he says the way you breathe has to do with how say you feel. What does that mean? How you feel, I guess. Shallow breathing reverts back to primitive brain, the reptilian brain, which operates on instinct and is in a state of frenzy all the time. When we produce more cortisol, more adrenaline, when we're using the reptilian brain, which makes us pessimistic and depressed. And you go that far, you're at the frequency of death. You might need death to become seductive and pull you out of here. So it's best to stay optimistic. Pessimistic, present energy, starved soul. See there, a starved soul. That's the energy you're sending. This is the vibration you're sending out when you're pessimistic. You're starved. If you're starved, you can't live, you die, you see. And then, I'm mystic. Pleasure, I'm mystic. I am a mystic. Gurinder Singh is a mystic. Okay. And I am him, so I'm a mystic. Gurinder Singh is also Jesus Christ and the Buddha. Therefore, Jesus Christ and the Buddha are mystics. Optimistic. Order part. I'm mystic. Okay, when you're optimistic, you are playing a part of a mystic. So that's the best, the highest thing you can be is a mystic. I feel shame because my fingertips got hit. When I was a little girl, 6 years old, taking piano lessons, I was playing some chords for Mrs. Jones, a piano teacher, and she hit my fingertips with a ruler all of a sudden, abruptly, no warning. And so I felt shame. Then I played the wrong notes. And then the other day I was reading, it said professional pianists, classical pianists, make at least 20 errors in piano playing when they perform. And nobody goes around hitting their fingertips. But anyway, Stevie Wonder felt gain when his fingertips hit. That was the name of his first hit, Fingertips. So he gained from having his fingertip hit. You see, the thing is, he's the counterpart to me because he stole my energy. I explain that in other videos. I have new things to say tonight. I don't want to say the same things on all videos. My pain was his gain. My pain, getting my fingertips hit, was his gain. He got hit song, Fingertips. My pain of losing my marriage to this black Muslim girl named Daya got in my bed. Somebody had been sleeping in my bed. She was sleeping in my bed when the children and I were in Los Angeles attending to my husband, Edwin Birdsong's mother, because her husband had just died. And I was, we were helping her through her grieving. And and Daya were in New York making a baby in my bed. And that happened. And now the girl who I saw once, she's articulate. And she looked like an elephant. And she's delusional. And this is what you get, when you do that. And anyway, the point is, it broke up my marriage because I said to him when I found out, you have to give her up. And he said, no, she's my manager. And I said, well, I'm not doing no threesomes, Of course, Govinda Singh has another wife. Ooh, never talked about this before. He married me in North Carolina on the spirit plane. And he gave me a baby on the physical plane. This baby is in me. She's been moving all night, or else her twin has been moving in my womb. So it's a real baby, but it was immaculately conceived. And so he said I'm his number one wife. So what I wouldn't do for Edwin, which was to be part of a threesome, I'm willing to do for Jesus Christ, Corinda, sing the Buddha, Saint Santa Claus, Saint Valentine. You see my point? They're two different souls, Now, and this Stevie's gain. Okay, so when my marriage broke up, Edwin turned to Stevie Wonder to be his entertainer, to be his companion, to be his muse. So, Stevie's gain of a 24/7 muse, entertainer, interanal. Could it be any plainer? Edwin's sperm, C, present energy, her A. Present energy, her am, ram. I'm in the Aries, the ram. Harem. He wanted a harem. Govinda Singh has a harem of 2 million people. And he gave it up to marry me. I guess. I mean, he's still gonna, well, yeah, he did, because he was gonna take them back to the ocean of light, the ocean of bliss. And now he's gonna stay on Earth and be, and be a part of this. So, having a ram. A ram is an uncastrated sheep. Ram trucks exist. A ram truck. Maybe I was a truck in my last life. One of my past lives, that's saying. Stevie we've been everything. We had 10,000 births. You know, we've been so many different forms. Stevie is Taurus, a bull. Stevie smelled the shit on his fingertips. Stevie is bullshit. You Are the Sunshine of My Life was his hit, one of his hits. That song was written with my energy. I'm the daughter of the sun. Okay. Those words match my experience. I have seen the sun's shiny eyes. He's an eye, one eye. His eye is full of light. His eye is full of delight. His eye is exhilarating. His eye is captivating. His eye is so engaging you want to marry him by melding into him and getting lost in him, becoming a part of him. To see him is to fall in love with him, become him, never be a self again. Spending time looking into the eye of the sun is certain death. Because he's irresistible, and yet he's on fire. You understand? Taurus the bullshitter. I was, as Eve supposed to be, born a Taurus. From the movie One Touch of Venus, I was born too soon. I was an Aries. I swooned when I looked at the sun. Stevie Wonder ordered one energy, daughter of the sun. The counterpart, the moth and the flame, the earth mother, evening star Venus, wants to be one with the noonday sun. The sun told me, I'm in human form now. He told me she is his star. He told me I am his star. And it was so, wow, I was so taken aback. Anything your heart's, desire will come to you. I don't know where it goes. He copped the energy. Stevie wanted to cop the energy. The daughter's energy sires, inspires, starts fires. This is the daughter of the sun, Eve, the one that Stevie Wonder's feeding off of. Starts fires, energizes desire. Stevie's desires was to see. He sees with his feelings, using my energy by killing original's feelings. He felt of the Taurus ruled by the entertaining, makes his daughter's desire to make her mother rich. Stevie Wonder smelled the shit on his fingertips and made some music that fit. He made his mother rich. That was my desire. Taurus the bullshitter, from his own behind below his spine, 'cause she said God gave little Stevie Wonder a dream that was mine. Spine over here. she said, yeah, I just read that, okay. And then over here he said, I walked across, this is another story. In Clarksville, Tennessee, when I was a little child, I walked across a hot street, the sun was shining, barefoot. The pavement always, and so the pavement burned my feet. Children walk in the footsteps of their parents. And then, okay, so I walked across the street, my feet were burning. So then this song, written by Lerner and Lowe, Will R.N. Leah, Ernestine. Ernestine was a friend of mine. Her daughter was named Leah. Leah was an RN. She helped her mother feel better. And Ernestine was in love with her child. Because what happens is, the child is in love with the mother when it's born. Then the mother falls in love with the child. You see, but somewhere along the line they have to separate. They don't know how to do that now, except to be mean to the child and be angry with himself for being in love with the child because they don't understand how it works. But now we have talk and share, so people can separate. They can isolate their feeling of love and attraction for their child, and it will release it. You see, so they don't have to stay in love with their child, and the child doesn't have to stay in love with the mother. The child can respect the mother, and the mother can respect the child, and they can communicate, and they can do their obligations to one another as family members, but they don't have to be each other. You see, okay. So, I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. And then it says, I'm going to live on the street where you live. I lived at 212 St. John Street. The song was sung by Gurinder Singh as Nat King Cole. See? So there was Gurinder Singh when I was a little girl singing to me as Nat King Cole, because my mother, who was Gurinder Singh, introduced me to Nat King Cole. Now, she didn't know she was Gurinder Singh, and I didn't know but I knew she was a saint. I just didn't know which saint, because I didn't know any saints. But I knew that song, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching. So that was sung by Louis Armstrong, who was Gurinder Singh singing to me. You see, I'm Eve, and he's trying to keep me alive, because my energy is feeding the world. And Adam's will is feeding my energy. My energy is feeding Adam's will. Then Adam's using his will to manifest things, skyscrapers and limousines and all these things that men have produced came from Adam's will. Adam is Michael Bublé. Okay, he probably doesn't know it, because see, the thing is, we're all unconscious, so we're playing our parts unconsciously. We don't know what we're doing. And when I was doing talk and share, because I read enemies too. And somebody would say something to me around, I said, that's really odd. I wouldn't say it was odd, but it was perplexing, because they were saying words, but their energy was saying something else. And the energy was the truth. So I was always befuddled as to what is going on, and these people don't know what they're saying, you know. And I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was saying. And my children, Robin and Sing Birdsong and Melanie L. Spear, knew what they were talking about. So I did talk and share with them and with my husband, Michael John Spear, who it turns out to have been was Lucifer. I'm not getting very far. I'm doing a lot of talking. Let me get back to my script. Okay, but he's grown now. He's not like that anymore after 37 years of talking share therapy and meditation. Okay, witches. Put the S over here, switches. My mother whipped me with switches from the hedges in the yard for a crime, or should I say garden, for a crime I did not commit. And Donnie said, we, Helen and I, my sister, wrote pussy, the word pussy, on our bathroom wall. I knew I hadn't written anything on her bathroom wall. Mama beat me for no good reason. She said if we didn't do it, consider we were getting a beating for something we had done, something bad we had done, and had never been caught. So I guess it was the time Helen raped me by telling me, ordering me at 3 years old to strip off my pajamas and get on top of her. We were in bed together. After I did that, I didn't want to do it. It was a very tormenting decision to make. I felt guilty of being bad, though I really didn't want to. I felt that was a moral crisis I had at 3 years old. Taurus, the bullshitter, page 2. I felt guilty most of my life for obeying my authority figure, my sister, at 3 years old. Now I could use talk and share and get rid of that feeling. But then nobody knew about talk and share. So the moth compelled to go into the flame, knowing the flame was going to burn her up. That's what happened to me. But Adam had already burned me up in this New York City shirtwaist fire. So I guess I was used to being burned up. I climbed onto Helen's naked body, feeling disgust, mistrust, knowing I was going to hell because I could not risk enduring Adam's hell of being alone in creation, or of being alone this life when my mother, okay, that's another story. Let me get this one. As an empath, a highly sensitive person, I felt Adam's feelings of being alone as my own. Yeah, I once experienced that in the hospital. I zoomed to a space where I was all alone in the world, and it was terrifying, to say the least. Petrifying. Okay, so creation being alone. This life when my mother and grandmother left me alone when I was 4 years old in my grandmother's 2-room house on Commerce Street, where James Emmett Metcalf and Johnny and their sister Dorothy lived on that street. She was light-skinned, not as light as my sister and me, with good hair, easy to comb hair that doesn't need a hot comb to straighten it. Her hair was dark like my mother's, which I thought was prettier than mine. She was pleasantly plump, and her 2 brothers were also very attractive and handsome. I realized each child in that family had their own individual color decoded. See order. Will ordered her. I guess that's Will Wright, my he was color struck, right? He's like light. He was very, very dark. And Will Wright, I'm talking about, Brother Wright, but he liked light skin. And all of the children they raised were light-skinned children. So I believe our children are our future. Show them beauty they possess inside. Then give them a piece of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Then let them lead the way. I wasn't shown any beauty or any talent that I had or any good handwriting. Indeed, my mother said she didn't want me, had tried to abort me, but her ears rang like dinner bells, so she stopped aborting me and went to have something to eat. One of her early pleasures, only pleasures in life. My mother was in hell because her mother hadn't wanted her because she was a girl, and she was afraid her alcoholic, violent boyfriend, they said he had killed a man and beat him to death. So it's afraid he would seduce my mother as my grandmother had been seduced by her father. Adam had in a past life burned, I said he burned me to death. Anyway, a New York Broadway play, Annie, describes my lot in life. Well-ordered truth. Yes, truth. That's the only thing that keeps you sane. You try to mess around with lies. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Okay, Taurus a bullshitter. All Taurans aren't bullshitters. Gretel, once Little Black Sambo, and Ronald McDonald wanted to be black. She wanted to be black. Ann Coulter said everybody wants to be black because they are the favorite and treated as though they are Jesus Christ or his wife Mary Magdalene. If people knew the truth that the black people were turned black because they were the chosen people, they were so close to him, and they also, these black people were the people that killed Christ. They were the original Jews. So the hots for them, the sun, got so close to them they burned. They got so close to him too. Had they remained worshiping the sun, they would have burned up. The moth attracted to the flame, knowing they'll never be the same, but they cannot resist the bliss of his kiss. Death has the same pull. If you go low, maybe you should be kicked to wake you up. If you go low where death is and keep you, and if you're kicked, it'll help you resist being sucked into irresistible pull. Almost no words to explain the kiss of death, pulling you under to succumb to melting hunger. Stunning blunder if you go into the trance. So dance for survival, wrote Edwin Birdsong. We're saving our own lives, sings the artist on the charity song, We Are the World. As long as the individual is happy and maintains a will to live, he will go on. The people with so much guilt in their system, knowing they'll be punished, worrying or being angry, pessimistic, wanting to die and have everybody else, what does this say? Eve, her eye, Baba G. Baba G's looking out for me, right? Jesus Christ, divine eye. I have come that ye might have life and have it more abundantly. Jesus is trying to keep you alive, trying to keep you from dying. Keep your mind clear with talk and share. Love yourselves. Stay optimistic. Keep that will to live strong, and you can live forever. Keep those thoughts high and noble. There's been an effort to kill Evening Star Venus since Venus, she's so nice and pleasant. The soul unhappy about himself has tried to kill the world and his place in it. We're going to keep you safe, says Adam, Michael Bublé, now a man, not an ape any longer, who wanted Eve all to himself instead of having to share her with their children Cain, Abel, and Seth, especially with Cain, who was madly in love with his mother. Note, all children are in love with their mothers in the womb. Love is being the other person. The child does not know he's separate from my other in the womb because mother is doing everything for him. She's even breathing for the child. After the child leaves the womb, it identity, Eve, M, Adam, and Adam wills, Eve gives the energy. Stevie Wonder's ill. He wants to wish wills. You get more, okay, this is quitting here. You get more flies with honey than with vinegar. My uncle, Brother Wright, whom I adored, he was a projection of Jesus Christ, had a sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth. That's why I hardly have any teeth in my mouth. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. The Greek word for word is logos, is reason, like the United States Constitution. So follow Jesus Christ. Gorinda Singh now, rock star Gorinda Dillon. And your life will be fulfilling contentment. Oh, I got it all in. See you later.